You have pain in your lower back, over the buttocks, even down the back of your leg? Then definitely stay tuned right now, because I'm going to show you 4 exercises that will help you relieve these pains effectively and quickly. Start directly with your back and your buttocks if it feels good. We'll do the exercises on the chair, but first, a quick thought. Why do so many people actually deal with sciatica problems these days? What is the sciatic nerve anyway? So the sciatic nerve is a nerve that starts here in the lower back and then runs down through the leg. It runs through the buttock, where there's a tight spot that can frequently cause pain when it gets compressed or irritated. And then it continues down the leg and branches off further below. And this nerve, normally it's quite thick, about the width of a finger or even slightly more. And if it has to pass through muscles that are too tight or overly tense, then the metabolism of this nerve becomes restricted. And that's exactly when the whole situation turns into pain. And then you also have that burning sensation sometimes. On a plane or in the car during a long drive, it starts to get really uncomfortable. You just can't sit anymore. And once we release all that tension back there, you're going to feel the problem much, much less, or even not at all anymore. And with the 4 exercises we're doing now, we'll specifically tackle this issue so that the muscles and fascia that need to relax will loosen up and the nerve will have plenty of space and won't hurt anymore. For the first exercise, sit down and slide forward just enough so that you have a little bit of space with your legs. And now please take a moment to try and see if you're able to comfortably place your right foot on top of your left thigh without any strain. If you can't manage that and only make it up to here, then you simply hold your leg in this position for now. If you manage to get to this point, you just hold it like this. And if you're able to lay it down, then you can place it directly onto the leg. You don't need to hold it at any point. No matter how far you manage to go, start right now, keeping your back completely straight and carefully lean your body forward. And then you immediately notice in your right glute, usually the spot that's already hurting anyway, that's exactly where you feel a pinch right now. It's pulling, that's where it pulls in. And now don't think, oh, that's exactly where it hurts, the pain I want to get rid of. The exercise isn't the main problem here. You've got to change your way of thinking. Now we're moving directly to where the body feels it's too tight. Something is too tight, muscles, fascias are too tense. And now we're stretching them and releasing that tension in the process. But when we release afterwards, it's going to feel so much better. That's the plan. Now keep moving forward. And find that intensity level where it's just enough so you can still feel it's beneficial and positive, just enough to still be able to smile. It's already intense. It's really noticeable, this stretching pain. But it still has to be positively charged because you know why you're doing it. And it really shifts your perception. You don't need to fear. Keep moving forward. Now imagine, we're focusing on stretching those exact muscles responsible for this issue. And because these muscles still need to function effectively, even though they're flexible, we're now building strength directly within the stretch. That's the trick. Now go ahead and press your right foot as firmly as possible against your left knee or leg, depending on exactly where it's positioned at the moment. And then let go. And then you'll notice now you can go a little bit deeper into the stretch. And then you carefully shift your foot once again, press down firmly on the left leg right at this very moment. The harder you press, the better the exercise becomes, along with its effect and overall effectiveness. Let go one more time, push in just a little bit further, and then you release and let it go completely. And pull yourself forward using your own strength, engaging your torso, moving further and further ahead, then carefully ease your way back out, maintaining control throughout. You can feel it. Move slowly after such extreme stretches. Now let's do the same on the other side. Place your left foot on your leg at the corresponding height or on top of your right knee. The important thing is that it feels comfortable for you. Keep your torso as straight as you can. Gently pull yourself forward and think, oh, exactly. This hits the exact spot on the other side, just as you intended. And now we gently let it give in. Picture yourself in a position where it's being stretched to the limit it's accustomed to, just enough to feel the tension without overdoing it. And now we have to train the muscle to release a bit more, to stretch further and longer, to let go and really relax completely. Pull yourself further forward and maintain the intensity of the stretching pain at a level where it stays just barely positive and manageable for your body's specific needs. Keep moving further forward. Take slow, deep breaths in and out fully. When you exhale, it's always good to deepen the stretch because exhaling brings relaxation. And now we're moving back into our strength training. Push your foot against your right knee as firmly as possible, engaging your muscles fully. Really firm. Release the tension, lean your torso further forward. Now deepen the stretch again, reaching further into the movement. And once more, you press really firmly against it. The foot naturally wants to move downward. And you release the tension, letting yourself ease a bit deeper into the stretch. And then you release the tension and pull yourself forward once more, using your own body strength, moving only as far as the buttocks can still comfortably manage the stretch without strain. It could also be that there's a bit of pulling in the thigh, doesn't matter where, always just to the point of comfortable discomfort. And then you come out. And now we'll perform a special exercise for both sides. Namely, you go onto the 4-point position. If you can't do that because you have very sensitive knees, then maybe try doing the exercise on the couch, on the bed, or place a thick cushion underneath, a folded blanket or something similar, because it's really crucial right now that you feel completely comfortable on your knees. And the softer it is, the more you'll do that. So now here's what you do. Now shift your weight so far over to the left side that your thigh naturally tilts into a slightly diagonal angle position. And when your knee is positioned roughly under the center of your body, then carefully and slowly lift your right leg up and hold it steady there. And then you have to try a little bit. You move your pelvis to the left, to the right, forward, backward, and somewhere you notice it pulls the most in the glute, right into that exact point of tension and stability, the one that hurts the most anyway. And then you just let gravity do its thing. And now we are right at this narrow spot which I mentioned at the beginning, where the nerve gets compressed or squeezed due to the excessive tension in the muscles and fascia. And this specific narrow spot we are now in the process of expanding. Just let yourself keep leaning in further. If you can, stretch out your right leg fully. And repeatedly adjust your pelvis position to maximize the sensation you're experiencing in that specific area, so that your thigh moves into your buttock. That's the best feeling you can have. Of course, it doesn't actually do that because it sits in the joint, but in terms of sensation, that's how it should feel. And then you slowly move outward. Go over to the other side. And now shift gradually to the right, making absolutely sure that your knee continues to move further beneath the center of your body. You extend the left leg away so that the entire period. Weight is now completely supported by the right buttock area and ensures that this constriction is pulled tight and secured. And breathe back in deeply and steadily. Take a deep breath in and breathe deeply out. Keep going further in. After a while, you'll notice exactly where you can relax and release to make the stretch feel even deeper. Keep experimenting with your hips. Gently shift them to the right or left, forward or backward, so you can fully tune in and deeply feel the precise spot where the stretch becomes the most intense and effective for your body and where you can truly maximize the benefits of the movement. Take a deep inhale and a long, deep exhale. Slowly come out of the posture. Lift your right side first, followed by your left side. Add a bit of gentle movement into the flow now. Move your torso a bit. And now I'll show you something really special. With our SI joint and sciatica hero, you can also use a book instead. We'll begin with the first action. You simply need to, we'll remove this round part here, ensuring it stands firmly and correctly. And now I'll show it from the other side so you can get a much clearer and better view of it. Now you lie down with your left hip. On it, stretch your left leg fully out straight and notice, there's a stretch happening in that area. Which stretch comes next? The stretch where we hyperextend here. Why is it so important for sciatic problems? Because the muscles tighten up and press on the sciatic nerve, the underlying cause is ultimately that we sit too much, that we are too short in the front, and when the front is too short, then the backside has to compensate and tenses up, which then compresses the nerve. And here we address the cause. We practically hyperextend the hip so that this contraction can no longer occur, and in doing so, we get rid of the cause. And at the same time, we apply pressure on the buttocks. Through the sciatic nerve and SI joint, the sciatica hero, or the books you're lying on. When you do that, you notice how everything relaxes here in the front. Then we place another tip on top of it. You could place it on your books, maybe a tennis ball or something similar to that. Now we're moving into a different angle. That relieves the pain better. We place the attachment underneath again, and now let's pay attention to what happens. Now we lay on it, and because we have something round underneath. I came up with this especially for you so that you get the best effect. You can make very small spiral movements, and at the same time we apply pressure on the muscle and the bones, which helps to release tension and improve the overall sensation in the area. The receptors, which are small switches, send signals to the brain telling it to relax, relax. The brain, in line with our model, performs this function effectively, and as a consequence, we observe the effect where the nerve becomes even more liberated and isn't as compressed by the excessively tense muscles anymore. Such smooth movement, you really don't feel like stopping at all. If you don't have the SI joint and sciatica hero yet, simply stack a few books to the right height, place a tennis ball on top, and you can recreate a similar effect. And then gently come back down at a slow pace and fully enjoy the liberating sensation in your hips. Make sure to do this exercise regularly, especially if you already have issues in that area. And share the video with those who are frequently dealing with glute pain and tension in that area, as it could actually make a real difference for them. They will totally thank you because with this, they relieve the pain and improve the area.